It's time for the insane, the honest, and the profane with your hosts, Ryan Fitzgibbons.
Tristan Peters is now an all-star center fielder. Tristan Peters. Yeah, the guy who, if he came in your house a couple years ago, you'd showed him your broken toilet. Now you're showing him your sister.
And Brandon Combs.
With all of the injuries, I don't know what Jed Hoyer is going to do. I know there's a ton of rumors out there, but there's always a ton of rumors at this time of year. And Jed Hoyer never pulls the trigger. You don't have prospects that are ready to come up and participate in Major League Baseball activities.
No.
And only one of those is a pitcher with elbow and back issues.
It's Windy City Sports Talk with Combs and Fitz right now. And welcome to Combs and Fitz Windy City Sports Talk. It's your boy, Brandon Combs, along with my guy, Ryan Fitzgibbons. Fitzy.
I love the new intro.
I was working on it before the show, working on all sorts of stuff, trying to get the show all prettied up. But yeah, I'm glad you like it.
You lied to me.
How'd I
You
lie to you?
surprised me. You don't surprise. You don't do
Hey,
this
look,
for me anymore.
We've got football season coming up. We've got all sorts of things to get pumped for, to get excited for, all sorts of things happening. I launched Combs Sports Talk this week, a new platform where I'm going to be going live every single day, even if it's only for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, just talking about normal stuff throughout the day. And we'll be
I'll be checking it out, man.
working on the new platform. Working on the new, got to get more stuff out there. Got to start concentrating on the content. Lots of changes coming, but I'm excited. Football's right around the corner.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting closer. I almost get a little, because I love summer, as I think you remember or know.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a little depressed, but then happy that football's coming, and you got to let time is time. You can't stop it, but
yeah.
I am getting a little excited for this season, not just because of the Bears prospects. It's just sort of an interesting league these days. I think the play could be a little bit better, but it's an interesting league because there's a lot. I mean, I think everything's wide open. We're going to talk about the AFC West later on, which I think is wide open. I think you probably at least agree with that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, I mean, it's almost every division. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Well, like you said, I mean, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into the NFL. We're going to talk about some teams that we think are going to regress more than others. And we're also going to talk AFC West, as you mentioned. But look, man, Major League Baseball in full swing. We are in the heart of summer, as you mentioned. And we just had the Midsummer Classic with Major League Baseball's All-Star Game and the Home Run Derby. All-Star Game, kind of a dud, but the Home Run Derby, to me, I don't know how you felt about it, and let's get your thoughts on it here in just a second, but I felt like the new format was great. I felt like it worked. Baseball needed to do something. I know there was about 100 less home runs hit between this year and last year, but I just felt like it was a better show. I felt like it was a better. You were more entertained by what was going on than you were with the timer and then the timeouts that they were able to take and all of this other stuff. I just felt like it flowed better, and I felt like it was a better product this year. I love the new format. I think that it's great. I hope that they stick to it. The one thing that I think they need to change with the All-Star Game, and I don't know how you feel about this, but maybe they do need to go back to making this so that the winner of the American League National League hosts the World Series, or is the home field advantage in the World Series, I should say.
You want that back?
I think you have to add something to make it mean something, because I just you got to stop fans from voting. I mean, you watch the National League All-Star team and the starting outfield, right? And then you get to the replacements, and where you have an outfielder of James Wood in right, PCA in center, and Corbin Carroll in left. And it was just such a better outfield. Like, had those guys had 2 or 3 at bats as opposed to the starters that actually got voted in, National League might have had a better showing. I think it's got to be for something, and I also do think that you got to stop fans from voting.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's one of the few All-Star Pro Bowl game, whatever you want to call it, that people care whether it matters or not.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they were good games back in the day. You know, Babe Ruth played in the first All-Star game. And it was just supposed to be a one-off, by the way. And then it just, became what it was. And yeah, guys used to go all out. I mean, they're playing flag football and football in the NFL now. It's yeah, I mean, I guys don't want to get hurt. There's too much money on the line. These players mean way too much. Miguel Vargas was robbed. He should have gotten MVP. Jeremiah, I kind of agree with you. He hit a monster home run in the All-Star game. I think it was great for this kid who was, I wouldn't say he was out of the league. Like, he was a big prospect. He could play third base. So he might have even had another chance after the Sox, but he was on one of his last chances possibly with the Sox, and was just, pretty much was acting like he didn't even want to play baseball anymore. And it's really a testament to the White Sox to that this kid's turned it around so much. But I still think it's fun. I still think the All-Star game's fun. The home run derby, I actually like it. I like the home run derby and the 3-point contest. Everything else can pretty much go away. Hockey goes a little nuts in the All-Star game. I think that in their All-Star game, or
yeah,
well, I think that's pretty cool. But other than that,
tournament was awesome.
Yes, yeah, that was really cool, and we talked about it when that happened. But yeah, I still think you still got to throw pitch and hit ball. I mean, there's still that going on. I mean, guys might not be going all out. I mean, gone are the days where Brad Penny is like grunting on every pitch back in 15, 20 years ago when he started the All-Star game, which was pretty cool. Or Randy Johnson is throwing at what's his name's head.
Well, yeah, John
Kruk, and then he did it to Larry Walker, and Larry Walker actually went in the right-handed batter's box because Larry Walker was a lefty.
That was Kruk, yeah, and turned his helmet backwards.
Yeah. Well, Larry Walker, did it. Yeah, I don't know if they both did it or if Larry Walker did too, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, gone are those days, but I don't know. I have to say, I think it was. I wasn't totally against when they made it. Who has home field advantage in the World Series? Even though the Sox would have had it anyway, and so the Cubs didn't have it. Correct, their year, but they would have had it against Cleveland.
Correct.
Yeah, because it was still going at that point back in 2016. 2005 was like the second or third year, but the Sox had the best record in both leagues, so they would have.
Yeah.
They would have had home field advantage anyway. So, but and it did add a little juice to the game, but I don't know.
I just think if you go back to it and you stop fan voting and you stop the nonsense where every team has to be represented, because not every team has to be represented in an All-Star game. I think the guys who go to the All-Star game should be the guys that deserve to go to the All-Star game, the guys who are actually All-Stars, right? Not guys like Alejandro Kirk, who had a 212 batting average with 2 home runs and 7 RBIs at the All-Star break, and it only played 19 games. And not only that, but there was a couple more. You had a Ronald Acuna Jr. who was voted as a starter who's hurt and can't even play, and has been hurt for the better half of the last 2 months. So I think that you have to stop that. And I don't think every team needs to be represented. And then sure, make it for home field advantage. I think it adds that element. It adds that level of excitement, and it makes the players, especially the players that are there, because 9 times out of 10, the vast majority of All-Stars are on playoff contending teams, or at least should be. Right? Like, you're going to have your one-offs, your couple of guys who aren't on contending teams that, don't legitimately have a shot to win a World Series, but it gives them a something to play for, and it gives them something to go out on the field and actually play it like it's a real game. And it's just something that we're lacking now, Major League Baseball. But we talk about the home run derby. I just felt like it was fantastic. I felt like the atmosphere was fantastic. I felt like the drama going into that last round where you had Kyle Schwarber, who's it was in Philadelphia. He's a Philly. Watching him in the final go up against Jordan Walker of the Cardinals, and then Jordan Walker being down to his last swing, needing 4 more home runs, and he ends up hitting the 5 that he needed to win it all. Like, that was just fun for me. And without having the timer, without having that, and you just have one swing. And if you keep hitting home runs on your last swing, you get to keep going. Like, that to me is more fun than the timer. And I felt like that was the better thing. Even though you were down by 100, home runs to the year prior, I still think it was just a better
too
show.
much anyway, and the guys are getting hurt. They got to fit into a time. They're out of breath. It's like, what? This is just I felt like like I was in Apollo's corner in Rocky 4, which is the weakest of the films, but Apollo's corner guy keeps screaming, "This was just an exhibition. This was just an exhibition." Like, they don't have to be swinging that quickly. And I want to go back to your earlier point. This is the last merit-based job that you have in this country almost. I mean, Jesus, I don't even think the presidency is merit-based anymore. Like, Doubting Thomas, I've located another photo album. I don't know why he keeps getting photos of our childhood, but it's getting to the point where I think he's in the Epstein files. This is my brother John, by the way, as a beautiful young man.
Do I look like I'm in the Matrix?
You are a little pixelated.
Really?
But I don't know if that was me, but now I'm concerned it's not me. But
not good.
I'm guessing it's my guess you probably did something to Michelle, your wife, and she messed with your camera. She messed with your gear.
I did nothing of the sort. Nothing.
I don't believe that. Neither do any of the listeners / pod people out there.
I mean,
podland.
If Michelle's listening and she could comment in, I did nothing to Michelle to warrant being pixelated online. Look, the fact that you're down 100 home runs this year, I don't think it is that big of a deal. Now, next year, if there's a season, next year the Cubs have the All-Star game. The Cubs have the home run derby. The last time that the Cubs had a home run derby, they did the home run derby during the day. They decided it would be a good idea and nostalgic to do a day home run derby at Wrigley. Ryan Sandberg won that home run derby as the hometown guy. How many total home runs did Ryan Sandberg hit, if you had to guess?
Total for every round he might have been in?
Other players that were in that. So back then, they did 5-out innings. It was 2 5-out innings for each contestant. And the contestants in that derby included, it was Ken Griffey Jr., it was God, I'm trying to think of the
Eric Davis.
No, Mark McGwire, Matt Williams, Bobby Bonilla, Jose Canseco, Cecil Fielder, and Darryl Strawberry. Sandberg won it. How many home runs did Sandberg win it with?
And Matt Williams could have hit 60 home runs in 94. People forget how good Matt Williams was at derbies. Holy cow, was he an incredible player. Got hurt, I think, at later in his career. Wow, that's such a cool group. I'm gonna say 10. Because I feel like it's gonna be low.
Lower.
What? 8?
Lower.
Jesus Christ. This is like asking my professor what I got on a test. 4.
Lower.
What?
Ryan Sandberg won the home run derby with 3 total home runs that year. The wind was blowing in off the lake during the day game. Well, day derby. Mark McGwire and Matt Williams each hit 1. Bobby Bonilla, Jose Canseco, Cecil Fielder, Ken Griffey Jr., and Darryl Strawberry all combined for 0.
You don't look like you're in the Matrix anymore.
Good.
But I'm guessing Michelle came by and fixed it, whatever she broke for you. But that's incredible. That's an incredibly boring.
5 total home runs.
Yeah, when that wind blows in, what a ridiculous. Oh man.
I saw that when I was researching because the last time the Cubs had an All Star game, it was 1990, and I was like, oh, let's see who won the Derby, and I come across it, I'm like, holy mother of God.
And you're excited for the All Star game that's not happening for another 362 days,
right? And that was the Derby that actually changed the Derby formats the first time around before they changed it to the clock. That was when they changed it to, instead of 2 5-out innings, you were going to have a total number of pitches, I believe it was, after that. So after that home run Derby, they started doing, real stuff. And instead of 5 home runs, you started getting better shows. It's all about goats and chickens.
I mean, it's all about goats and chickens. Well, it is about goats. I don't know where the chickens come in. Chicken is a funny word, though. Thanks, John Lee. Thanks for listening. Been a while, bud.
62-year-old Jose Canseco hit more last week at the rate.
Yeah, he did. He was hitting them out.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't see it. Now I missed that because they had the alumni home run derby, right?
Yeah, they did.
Who won it?
Daniel Palka,
I
believe, won it.
How did Frank Thomas do? Did he do well? I'm guessing no by the tone of your silence.
You are and always have been penis cancer in human form.
That's my answer to you.
I just don't understand how
he wasn't. He wasn't in the home run derby.
How can you not have
he wasn't
in your franchise, not in the alumni home run derby? I just don't get it.
One of the best right-handed hitters ever. Period.
Yeah,
absolutely. On the very short list. Leary won it. Oh, he did. I thought Pelka won it.
Jesus,
I wasn't really paying attention. Yuri Garcia. He was the youngest, wasn't he?
Try the home run derby yourself, Combs, on Coke or uppers.
Well, back in the day, everybody was on uppers. Pretty much every player was on uppers.
Yeah.
Wow, fun Mount Greenwood fact. Mr. Gutierrez arrested Jose Canseco.
Interesting.
I'm guessing he was out there getting plastered somewhere.
On the south side of Chicago.
Popping his shirt off. Back when he was playing. Actually, it could have been when he played with the White Sox. I almost forget that he played with the White Sox. And he was terrible. That's why I forget about it.
Unbelievable. But no, so now you got the second half. We've had a good weekend of second half to kick off the second half, which is really like the third of the season, I guess you could say.
You keep saying that. It's weird every time you say it. I know it's not inaccurate, but
we've had the Boston Red Sox have now won 13 straight. They go ahead and they sweep the first place Tampa Bay Rays. They're coming out of nowhere, and now they're in contention. The White Sox won 2 out of 3. The Cubs won 2 out of 3.
In Toronto, yeah.
What do you make of the first half? Obviously, the White Sox are the biggest surprise of the first half, but do you think that you're in for bigger surprises in the second half? Like, do you think that there's any teams that are that far out of it, like the Boston Red Sox, who to start that series were 10 games out, now we're only 6 games out? You have the Twins and the Tigers making a surge in the AL Central, while the White Sox lead that division by a game. And you've also got the Philadelphia Phillies and the Miami Marlins, who just got swept by the Brewers and have lost 6 in a row now. But the Miami Marlins are still in contention for the NL East. Do you expect to see any of these teams actually make a run and win a division?
I don't believe in the Red Sox.
Okay.
Even though I thought they'd be good in the beginning of the year, I just don't believe in them. They did sweep the White Sox. The White Sox were a tired team with not much of a bullpen left. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, terribly inconsistent team. I just don't believe in the Red Sox. I don't believe in the Twins. I don't think they have the pitching, but God, can the Twins hit? I mean, yeah, they are the Cubs put the screws to them the last couple of games, but man, they can hit. I mean, they're one of the best hitting teams in the league. Just
Mhm.
if you just look at runs. But I don't think they're real either. Man, it's tough. Yeah, I can't see. Maybe like you said, the Mariners. I mean, the Mariners still aren't like, killing it over there out west.
Nobody in the
Uh,
American League is killing it.
no, not really. I mean, yeah, not even Tampa Bay really. I still think the Yankees are the cream of the crop and a bad AL, but yeah, I don't see a lot of other teams climbing up there. I don't think the Red Sox are real. I really don't.
Well, you've got the best team in the American League is 56 and 42. That's the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah.
The Cubs are 56 and 43. And we know how inconsistent they've been and how, you look
Yeah.
at them and what they're capable of or what they're not capable of and how bipolar they are. But the American League just has not been good all year long.
No.
And that's why I think like anything is possible in the American League. It wouldn't surprise me if the Red Sox come back.
Maybe the Rangers too. I mean,
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the Rangers in the beginning of the year. They're at the top of the division at 50 and 49. We might have the first sub 500 team in the playoffs this year. We might. It's going to be tough. You've got to really work to get arrested on the south side. You're right, Jeremiah.
The
I
the
mean,
NL Central almost has as many teams over 500 as the entire American League.
yeah, I mean,
The NL
it's
Central has 4, the American League has 5 teams over 500.
yeah, it's
It's not good.
getting bad.
It's not good. But the White Sox, man, look, they continue to keep winning. They continue to keep impressing. And look, I know that heading into the All Star break, sure they were tired, whatever the case is. But if you're tired in July, you're really going to be tired in October. I still think that this team's going to hang around, and I still think
I
that this team is good enough to win this division, and I still think this team might be good enough to make a deep run in October. I really do. Like, it would not shock me if we were talking about the White Sox going to the ALCS this year.
They're saying the Sox are looking. I mean, this is Bob Nightingale, so take it with a large kernel of salt. That the Sox are looking at Clay Holmes, the starter
You
from the
leave Bob
Mets.
Nightingale alone. He is a treasure,
Yeah.
and I have
He's
him on
also-
BetMGM tonight quite a bit.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, I mean, and Clay Holmes has been pretty good for the Mets this year. He's only pitched 52 innings. But been pretty good in the innings he has pitched. Let me see here if I have an ERA. I mean, I guess he'd be a guy. I mean, he's not overpowering. He's not gonna. I mean, 2 WAR player in that time though.
Yeah.
He's not gonna light anybody up. 45 strikeouts and 52 innings. Okay at strikeouts. I guess that's a guy to eat up innings. For you. I don't know if they're gonna make any splash here. That's going to be an ace. It looks like Sean Burke's gonna be pretty damn good. And this is a guy that can pitch into October. I mean, he's been stretched out. He's not like one of these young guys that might come up. Drew Thorpe pitched his first minor league game. That was the jewel in the Dylan Cease trade, which I have a question about Dylan Cease.
You have a
In a
question
minute.
about Dylan
We
Cease?
get to the Cubs. Once we get to the Cubs. But Drew Thorpe was that jewel. He's been out for almost 2 years now. He might come back, and I'm guessing he's going to pitch some innings before the season's up. I would think, like, why not? Yeah, Megan TV's right. Burke is the ace. I would think right now he's got to be your ace. He had the best stuff on the staff from the beginning of the season. Davis Martin, had some time off. It looks like it did good for his arm. I would be surprised. I'd be shocked if Shane Smith finds it out. Shane Smith just had 3 innings and gave up like 4 runs in the minors. So I don't know. I don't know about Shane Smith. I'm going to need another starter somewhere. I mean, I don't even necessarily need a closer. I just need somebody who's going to keep them in games, in 2 games in a long series, or in a 5-game series. If they win the first game, and that can pitch game 4, probably 5. That's what's going to convince me. I don't know if Sean Burke's that guy. I don't think he's that guy, because all of a sudden he goes haywire and throws a bunch of balls.
I think that for sure they need a closer. I think you need a legit closer. In any team in baseball that is going to make a deep run in any postseason play has to have a guy who can just come in and just shut the door. Even if it's for 1 inning or if it's for 2 innings, you got to have a legit closer. And it's one of those things where I don't know if they go out and they get the top closer that's on the market, but I think that they're in play for a couple of good depth pieces in the bullpen. I could also see them adding a starter. Like I don't know that it's going to be one of those needle moving starters. I don't know if it's going to be a top end starter, but I could see them adding like a 4th or 5th starter type guy, somebody that's just to shore up the back end of the rotation heading down the stretch. And offensively, they don't need to add anything. They're playing just fine offensively. And I think that this team is good enough to sustain this throughout the rest of the season. So I do think that the White Sox are poised. Now, whether or not they actually go and do it is going to be a different thing. And that's always the thing, right? Like you're always waiting on pins and needles and waiting for something to happen. And then when nothing happens, you're like, what the hell? But if Chris gets and the White Sox organization, I don't even know, to be honest with you, I don't even think Jerry's in charge anymore. I really don't. I think that this White Sox front office is going to make some moves, and I think they're going to make a splash, and I think that they know they're good enough to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to tell me a little bit. I mean, I'm going to need to get, for the love of God, Fitz, construct the damn studio. I'm not ready yet. Jesus. I'm not ready, okay? I'm indecisive. Falling apart.
Are we still talking about the studio? Are we still talking about the studio?
This way. Your son ruined the show again. You and your son do more to ruin this show. I can't even make a White Sox point right now. I just don't think they're going to make a big move. And I just don't think the staff is good enough. I still think we're in the midst of what could be I will say this. It's pretty good the last 6 games of the season. I went ahead in the schedule. The Sox last 2 series are against Kansas City and then the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah.
The 2 teams that are for sure not going to the playoffs and are going to be terrible in September. So, I mean, maybe things are cleared away for them to at least make the playoffs, but I don't know, man. The starting staff scares the crap out of me. And I don't think there's no pitcher out there that looks like I just think they'd have to trade too much. And maybe they do want to trade Caleb Bonham now that they got Rock Chalowski, who Rob Manfred mispronounced his last name because he's just the commissioner of baseball. And it's not like Rock was the 57th pick in the draft. This is the number 1 pick in the draft. You're the commissioner of baseball, and you could not pronounce his name. I mean, this is the worst commissioner of a league in the history. And we're going to get more to him in the history of sports. I mean, I can't even think of a worse one. I mean, it's not like Bud Selig was great. He basically lied himself through the steroid era, but at least he was over the steroid era. I mean, baseball was back. I mean, baseball was pretty bad in 95, 96, going into 97, 98. At least they took off. I mean, sure, there's guys with no brains because of Paul Tagliabue boo in the NFL, but I mean, Rob Manfred has got to be. I mean, am I wrong here? Even who's the guy? Benneman? Is it Gary Benneman, the commissioner of the NHL? He's terrible.
Yeah.
He's horrible. I mean, some of his decisions on when to schedule hockey, he can't even schedule a hockey playoff game correctly. I mean, it's stupid the way they've some of the outside games they've done, the way they've scheduled them against NFL games and other game like big basketball games. But I mean, Rob Manfred has to have them all beaten. But anyway, I went on a tangent.
He is pretty bad. And while you were going on about it, I did go ahead and I did find him. Introducing Rock Kalowski.
With the first pick of the 2026 MLB draft, the Chicago White Sox select Rock Chalewski, a shortstop from UCLA.
It's not even close.
MLB draft, the Chicago White Sox select Rock Chalewski, a shortstop from UCLA.
Chalewski? It's not even close. Tell me. He looks like the kind of guy that's given a woman a date rape drug at least a couple of times.
I mean,
he is the dumbest commissioner in the history. I mean, I know these guys are on and they get interviewed a lot and they answer more questions than any of the commissioners in the past, but it's been a while now.
Yeah. Well, Rob Manfred hates baseball. I mean, I've been saying this for a long time. Rob Manfred hates baseball. And I look at, the things that he's done and the things that he's said over the course of time. And it gets worse and worse and worse, right? Like you look at, calling the trophy just a hunk of metal, all of the different things that he's done through baseball, all of the different things that he's said, all of the different things that the way that he just conducts his business goes to show me and a vast majority of baseball fans that he just doesn't care about the game of baseball. And to be honest with you, I borderline believe that he hates it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, no, I think you were right about that 3 years ago when he said something about the trophy, which I know it's not the most famous trophy in the history of sports. It's not the Stanley's Cup. It's not,
he sent it 5 times.
Rock said he sent the pronunciation 5 times. 5.
That's hilarious.
Times. What's the name of the WNBA commissioner?
Kathy Engelbert.
Kathy. You didn't just look that up? You've had a little time.
What do you mean I had time?
Engelbert. Engelbert. That sounds made up. What is this? The Princess Bride?
I don't even know if that's right. I'm pretty sure that that's right. Okay.
Humperdinck.
I could be wrong. I mean, are you going to look it up and fact check it or?
Oh, I'll have the.
It's just that Stanley's Cup. Fitz hates hockey.
I was on a roll, Junior. Shut up. I should just be happy he's listening for more than 4 or 5 minutes. to come in and say something about Tom Brady and the Patriots. Talk about an NFL team right there who had the worst division in the history of sports to lord over for 20 years and then say that we're the best team in NFL history. Really? You had the Miami Dolphins, the Jets, and the Buffalo Bills to play for 15 years of your career.
Mm-hmm. And now Tom Brady's out here making enemies with Logan Paul, apparently. I don't know if you saw that video over the weekend, but he apparently at Fanatics Fest, he smacked Logan Paul, which was the fakest slap I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, God.
I think he's about to get into WWE towards WrestleMania or something. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think that we're going to see Tom Brady actively involved with the WWE here in the near future. And I look at Tom Brady now and I'm like, man, what does this do for Tom Brady? I mean, they must be paying him a buttload of
He
money.
can't stay away, man. He just can't. I mean, it's gotta be
Addicted to the light.
kind of horrible to be him. It's gotta
Like-
be. It's like the Michael Jordan thing. They just can't stop, man. They don't know how to. They got like on this, like, hamster treadmill thing, and they just can't stop doing it. You got to bring up his comment. I thought we were just going to ignore his comment.
Junior wants to fight you.
Brandon Combs Jr. says, listen here, you son of a bitch. He's going to throw a football at this is the thing, and this is what I was going to get to. Now, and I'm going to call it the WWF because it was the WWF when I was a kid. Who cares about the World Wildlife Foundation? We're making soon we won't have animals anymore anyway on this planet. But the everything's becoming the WWF. I mean, basically, Our president is the W. He was in the WWF. Basically, our president he's like treating this Iran war like it's the WWF. I mean, our oligarchs, the people that own the biggest businesses in the world, are basically they actually say that they're going to fight each other. Mark Zuckerberg said he was going to wrestle Elon Musk. They wanted to have like a fight together. Like it's insane. Freaking Jeff Bezos looks like Lex Luthor. Like we're basically living. Wrestling has taken over everything, and you love it. You don't even look uncomfortable anymore. You're actually having a good time with this.
Junior says Fitz is spitting straight facts. For once. Look, it's not that I don't love it. Like I don't think it does anything for Tom Brady's legacy. I don't think it does anything for Tom Brady's brand. I actually think that this looks like a guy just taking a payday because it's not going to be good. It's not going to be well orchestrated. It's not going to be, even very entertaining to watch, to be honest with you. Like I'd rather watch Tom Brady try to, like, I don't know, be the quarterback for the flag football team for Team USA or something, as opposed to watch him try to be a competitor in the WWE. And I think that when you look at Tom Brady, I just think it's that mosquito problem. Every time you turn on a light, all of a sudden they start buzzing around it. I think Tom Brady has that. Like he's just addicted to the limelight, and so he's just always around it. And I don't think you get away from it. And I don't know that necessarily. I mean, I don't even think he's that great of a color analyst. I'm not a huge fan of him on the mic at all. And then I watched this stuff at Fanatics Fest, and I was just like, man, this is.
Just go on the mic and let that be it. I thought he was okay on the mic. Actually, I think he's gotten better at it too.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I like that game that he called with Kevin. What is it? Kevin Burkhardt.
Yep.
The Bears Packers game. I thought he did a terrific job in that game. But man, whatever. I'm not going to argue over what is a good color broadcast and what's a bad one in football. They're all pretty bad to me.
Takes one to know one, right, Combs? I don't get that.
That you're a bad broadcaster. I think that's what. she means. I don't know what you did
Oh,
to
wow.
her.
That's rough.
I think it's because you go over after Doubting Thomas. I'm not sure. I'm
I
not
mean,
her. I'm not her
I mean,
translator.
first of all, I'm pretty sure she would agree when we say that Doubting Thomas deserves it 99% of the time.
Yes. 0.9.
So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why she's coming at me. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe she's helping defend me. You got your son coming on here. Isn't your son getting married sooner or later? He's not going to be able to. He's not even going to have. He's not going to be able to watch this. It's going to be a no. We're not
Yeah, I
putting
mean,
it on.
I tried saving him. I tried telling him not to do it. But
If anybody's going to save him.
Yeah.
I mean, really, if anybody's going to talk him into it, three marriages. If anybody believes in marriage, it's got to be you. It's not about me. She hates me too. Actually, I believe him for once. Oh, Combs likes the spotlight. Wow.
That's, I mean, it's because I'm constantly trying to do different stuff and constantly trying to grow my
Once a
brand
day.
because I'm nowhere near where I want to be yet in my career. I'll take it. I do like the spotlight because I'm constantly trying.
I can't wait for these 1 videos a day. Third time's a charm. Thanks, Michelle.
Hey.
What did you do to his camera?
We're just
What
trying.
did you do to his camera?
We're
Can
just
you do
trying
it
to
every
settle
week?
on whether or not it's the third marriage or third divorce. That's we're still
What the
we're still talking about it.
I can't
I'm
believe
joking.
that just happened.
I'm
wow. Oh, wow.
I'm joking.
The car's still being gunned as it's going. I know it's just a sound effect, but the car is still being revved as it's going down. And that's why Dad's 3 deep, not 3 inches deep.
No, that's
a little big.
That's his mom. Anyway, seems like a good time for us to get into something that we love to call Fitz gibberish.
Yes, it's a diatribe. It's a conspiracy theory, and it's an Ireland in the middle of unapologetic and sometimes inaccurate sports talk. I mean, I was probably inaccurate a lot there. Maybe I did say Stanley's Cup. It is his cup, right? I mean, I don't know.
It's the Stanley Cup.
I know what it is, but it's got to be somebody's cup. I said it wrong, okay? Jesus Christ. Let's go back to it. And it's Fitz gibberish. All right. Most of the time, I don't listen to sports athletes when they do interviews or make statements, unless they're referring to specific parts of their game or a detail within a game that I found possibly interesting. I do not need to know how it felt to hit a home run to win the big game, which seems like the only question reporters can think to ask them after they hit the home run. So I usually give players a little leeway when they talk, even if they're just reading what was written. I'm not going to do that for Bryce Harper and the FanDuel controversy. First of all, Bryce Harper looks like the kind of Mormon who comes to your house to talk about the Church of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints and fucks your wife after you fall asleep to the wine he brought. Anyway.
Wow.
Bryce sent this cameo video to Terry Thompson a couple years ago, a gambling addict who gambled away his family's life savings. Terry later called his therapist to tell them he was going to kill himself and barricaded himself into his house when police came. Bryce Harper video is part of a lawsuit that states FanDuel, DraftKings, and another sportsbook company use their products and VIP service to intentionally maximize addiction. This was Bryce's video.
Hey Terry, what's up, brother? Hey man, your host Brittany from FanDuel wanted to make sure your Thanksgiving was extra special. Just wanted to hop on here and wish you and your family a wonderful Thanksgiving. Tell I said hello. I appreciate all the support.
That was his son, Terry's son he named. This is all according to the Philadelphia Inquirer. Bryce also came out with a statement after this came out a few days ago. I joined Cameo to engage with fans through paid personalization videos. What happened here went beyond anything I knew about or approved. In November 24, someone identifying themselves only as Brittany submitted it in order to Cameo as a personal holiday video to Terry. He goes on to talk about it, even shows the script. But Bryce, bro, you made the video and said FanDuel in the video. Plus, you're a Mormon and you tell anyone who wants to hear it, even when people don't want to hear it. Mormons are rather adamant about a couple of things, one being not gambling. You're telling me the word FanDuel didn't ring any bells for you? What are you going to do next? Call me up and say Jameson Irish whiskey, which is you a happy St. Patrick's Day? Plus, why are you aging like a president who started a needless war in the Middle East that is crippling our country financially? Dude, you need to get some sleep and moisturizer and some morals. Look, some of the blame game here does go to FanDuel, who is setting up an insane asylum of handlers to exploit addicts' worst tendency. By the way, when the FanDuel and CEO was asked if he was stepping down, this is what he said.
I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
Of course, that was Wolf of Wall Street, not the FanDuel CEO. Terry Thompson also takes some of the blame here. An addict is still responsible for what he does. Let me make this abundantly clear to anybody who is listening. FanDuel, DraftKings, Kalshi, etc. are not your friends. They are not doing this for fun. They're doing this for the same reason why the tax code is the way it is, to rape and pillage the savings and finances of the middle/working class in this country. I also blame Brittany from FanDuel, the, part of the working class, middle class of this country. By the way, Brittany from FanDuel is spelled Bryttanni. Never saw that spelling of Brittany before. And I'd also like to blame all of us for allowing this to happen in every corner of our culture. I am old enough to remember a time where we knew there was con men and women out there to separate us from our money, but we were in it together to stop them. Somehow, I still believe we are. It's time to wake up to these betting apps. Combs, that's Fitz gibberish. Now you know the Bryce Harper story.
I mean,
And I also do want to read, I'll let you comment, but I also do want to read what Rob Manfred said about this, which is worse than not knowing who the first draft pick in the draft is. Not being able to pronounce his name, that is.
As somebody who is the executive producer of a show called BetMGM Tonight, look, I know what the sports books are and I know what they're in the business for. And I understand that. Look, no, they're not trying to give anybody money. They're not trying to give away anything. They're trying to make money. They're a business. That's what businesses do. They try to make money. And businesses of this magnitude try to make money off of people who have issues. I understand that. But what Bryce Harper is doing is something that he's paid to do. And look, the whole Mormon thing, and I understand the betting, but I mean, a lot of that stuff goes out the window when you become a pro athlete with endorsements, because you get paid to endorse things, especially with FanDuel. I mean, it's all over sports now. Everything is sponsored by a betting site. You go, I see it all the time. Bet365 is everywhere right now. You got FanDuel everywhere right now. BetMGM is everywhere right now. So you see it constantly. And I don't think that it's going anywhere anytime soon. And I don't have, look, I Bryce Harper sending something like that to somebody, and maybe he didn't know what it was or what it was supposed to be, and then it turns out to be this thing. That's the problem that you have with a lot of athletes, right? Is they get paid to do something. They don't know what it is, but they do it. They throw their name on it. They put the word, they don't know who Bryce is or Terry is from anybody. It could be any Terry. And Bryce is out there, and maybe he just didn't know. Maybe he legitimately didn't know who this guy was, and he was just like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do this video, whatever it takes to fulfill my obligations to my endorsement
To FanDuel.
Yeah,
To FanDuel, which again, he's a Mormon. This is a baseball player. This is a baseball player. Then why is FanDuel paying for a cameo? Did you even does he know what 1 + 1 = 2 is? Why would FanDuel wait? Can I make a point? Why would FanDuel, first of all, give a present to somebody on Thanksgiving? Who gives people presents on Thanksgiving? That's ridiculous. Why would FanDuel pay for a cameo for somebody? 1 + 1 = 2. This guy's obviously a degenerate gambler that you are sending a cameo to make him feel extra special. They also bought him Super Bowl tickets. They also did a million things for him. The guy lost $2 million, his entire life savings. I'm not saying it's not his fault. I'm not saying he doesn't have that he's some total victim here. I'm saying there's that people who are con men and women are empowered in this country more than they were when I was younger. Empowered in this country not to go after people who are billionaires. Empowered in this country to go after people that have a little nest egg left to retire with. That's who they're empowered to go after. That's who they're empowered to go after. And there was a time in this country where there was laws against that. That time is over.
That's fine, but that's not Bryce Harper's fault. And I don't care that he's a Mormon. That's not it. That stuff goes at your religion, and all of that stuff kind of goes out the window. I
understand that, but he says it, and he wears it, and he acts like he's better than everybody else because of it. And then he's doing FanDuel cameos for people when one of the number one laws in being a Mormon is that you don't gamble.
That's why I hate religion, because every religion thinks that they're better than the other one.
Well, yeah, I agree.
And I get that, and they throw that out there. So sure, I mean, if you want to have a problem with Bryce for that, then sure. But having a problem with him being a part of this video, I'm almost positive he probably doesn't even know who Terry is. Could be a million Terrys.
I understand that, but you can't. Come on, you're a baseball player. You know this is going to a guy who gambles a lot. If it's FanDuel paying for the cameo for the cameo, and listen, let me just read what Rob Manfred said, just because it's funny, not to prove a point. I think the important thing is that Bryce's activity was not a violation of the basic agreement, and it wasn't a violation. Now, some people say it was a violation of spirit law, but anyway, he says that. Then he said, "We made sure about that, and we'll continue to try to figure out exactly how we ended up where we ended up on that." What does that mean? What does that last line mean? We made sure about that, and we'll continue to try to figure out exactly how we ended up where we ended up on that.
Nobody knows what that means. He doesn't even know what that means. I'm just saying that I don't condemn Bryce Harper for any of this. I mean, if you want to, like, the fact that he's Mormon and he's putting out these videos, if you want to hold that on over his head, that's fine. But I mean, like, it's like
he's a baseball player trying to get a guy to gamble more. Forget about the Mormon thing. The Mormon thing was just something I threw in there. He's a baseball player trying to get a guy to gamble more. That is what is happening
right now. If the CEO of Binny's came to you right now and said, "Fitz, I'll give you $1 million right now. I need you to cut me a 30
Hell no.
on Binny's liquor store." You wouldn't do it for $1 million?
Hell no. And I thank you for proving my point. Thank you for proving my point. Hell no, I wouldn't do that. Never. $1 million, $100 million, make it more, make it $1 billion. Hell no, I would not do it. No,
You're
it's
a
called
moron.
principle. It's called principles. We used to have them. We don't have them anymore. That's a problem. And that's your Fitzgibberish.
It's also
like,
called.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's also called stupidity.
There's a baseball player trying to get a gambler to gamble more on sports. Like, if this happened 30 years ago, it'd be the biggest scandal in sports history. Like, let's stop. Like, the thing that happens sometimes, and I'm not getting self-righteous here. I have been a scumbag in my life. But the thing that happens in this country is we have and Dave Chappelle used to say this, we have a 9/11 every day. So we don't know what's a big story and what's a small story. Remember when 9/11 happened? That was like the biggest thing. Everybody sat around and watched the news for a week. Now that's all we ever do. So nothing's a big story anymore. He's only Mormon for the whole. Thank God for Jeremiah. Make me remember not to get too serious on this show. But I mean, we don't do that. I mean, I just think that's a problem. I really do. That you have a baseball player trying to get somebody to gamble more, and he knows exactly what he's doing. It's all a bunch of. He had the script. He put the script on. I don't know where he put it. I think he put it on Twitter. I couldn't find it there, but he put the script out there. It's like the script says FanDuel, and he says hi to his son in the damn cameo. Like, dude.
I don't have a problem.
And Combs, if he didn't know, it's even worse. If he didn't know, it's even worse if you're a human being on this planet and you know this guy's a degenerate gambler and you're a baseball player and you're sending him that note and you didn't know. It's even worse that you're that detached from the humanity of the situation.
But how is this anybody but Terry's problem? That's what I don't get. Like, we're making this out like, oh, Terry bet because Bryce Harper sent out this video. Terry bet. No.
No, they have other things. This was only one part of the lawsuit. This was only one piece in the lawsuit. There were other things that they did to coerce him to bet. They're not supposed to do it. It's against the law for FanDuel to do this. For people to be coerced into betting, for them to look at degenerate gambling. They don't go to the guy who could bet. We've talked about this before. They don't go to the guy who's winning. They don't go to the guy. What they do to the guy who's winning is the guy's not allowed to bet anymore. There's a lot of people, hundreds of people that aren't allowed to bet on these sites anymore because they won. They could bet on the sites. They can bet like $1.80. That's how much they could bet on these sites. There's nobody
all over America, though. I mean, you're talking about like hell. We take it back to sports, where you know this show is predicated on. But you look at what's going on in Major League Baseball right now, right? The owners want a salary cap and a salary floor. Why? Oh, because the Dodgers are spending too much. Why? Because the Dodgers are spending money to win. We want to punish the teams that are spending money. You want to punish teams because they want to spend money on players that are really good to help their team win. The same way that it's the same thing. When bettors are winning, they get banned, and they can't bet no more. I get all that. I've seen it.
I think that's wrong. I
agree with you.
And then you go to the bad bettors and you try to coerce them to bet more so you can make more money. That is illegal, and things like that. Now they're going to have this big lawsuit. Dude's probably going to lose because people with money always win these kind of lawsuits, or at least win what they, pay what they want to pay.
We'll talk, Jeremiah. I got a guy.
Wow. It's okay for you to say that, though.
I just
this betting thing has legs.
I mean,
this betting thing has legs. It's going to get worse. This is the tip of the iceberg. I'm sorry to cut you off.
I get what you're saying. Like, I mean, this is like taking a meth addict and bringing them to, giving them a safe house to go use meth, which our government does, by the way. Like, this is, that's what this is. Like, I get it.
Do that, yeah.
I get it, but it's just to me that's not on Bryce Harper. Like Bryce Harper gets paid millions of dollars to do something. I don't care what you say. I think you're crazy if you would turn down life-changing money to not endorse something. You can come to me right now, and I'll
Why? I mean, I don't get that. If I don't like the product, right, I don't think the product's good. I'm not saying that at some point, I mean, I doubt I would ever promote an alcohol beverage, but I'm not going to call somebody up and promote it to the freaking alcoholic. I'm not going to do that.
You have me do this show with you.
I'm not saying Bryce Harper is the most culpable. I even said at the end of the Fitz gibberish that Britney's more culpable than he is. That's another thing we do in this country. One person gets blame. I said we're all to blame. Like, why do we treat the weakest people in our country like this? Like, that's not good. I mean, I just don't think it's good. I don't think it's right. And I don't think it's right for one of the best baseball players, over the last, 15, 13 years he's played in this league. Came up when he was 20, is trying to get a guy to gamble more. Like, that's I said, if this was 30 years ago, it would be the biggest story in sports. And so would that basketball. So that basketball story at the beginning of the basketball season that no one seems to be talking about. Yeah. You got guys shaving points. You got more than one guy. You got a coach playing poker with the guys who are having players shave points with them. Why am I better than Dan Aykroyd?
I don't know.
Okay. I didn't get that. We beat the shit out of the point.
All right. You're right. We don't promote alcohol on this program. This is water.
Yeah, right.
It's water.
Can I guess?
See, look.
That's a rum and Coke.
Wrong. Rum and Sprite. Anyway.
With the lime. I do a True Lime promo for the money.
I would do a True Lime promo too. There's actually True Lime in
these guys are putting lime in their beer. For everybody out there, they're putting lime in their beer. They're not only putting packets of lime in their beer, they're going around at parties and making other people put packets of lime in their beer.
That was just Mark.
Yeah, but John's doing it too sometimes. Well, Mark, the thing is, with your brother-in-law, Mark, he was asking people at a party that didn't even know who he was, and the people did it.
You've never been at a party where somebody just came up to you with some random powder and said, "Hey, put this in your drink," and you do it? Come on.
Trump's teleprompter guy was arrested betting on word counts of speeches on Kelce. Okay, see? Kelce's doing that crap too.
I mean, yeah, that's the problem with prediction markets is that they're uncontrollable.
Yeah, that's like an inside job as well. I mean, it's just getting more and more to where everything, like, what is real?
And that's like I love sports gambling. I've never been on Kelce or any of the prediction market sites because you just can't control them. It's just you're taking a bigger risk on Kelce than you are on a normal sports.
I will say that that Kelce, I forget the name of the other one. Those are like FanDuel on steroids. Those are like way worse.
Oh, absolutely.
FanDuel's a demon.
Allegedly.
Satan. Allegedly.
Anyway. All right. Let's talk some NFL here. We got football season is right around the corner. After this week, for those of you that don't know, after this week, the show's going to take a 2-week hiatus. We're going to have a couple of vacations. Fitzy's going on vacation. I'm going on vacation. So for the next 2 weekends after this, we will not be on the air. But when we do come back, preseason football will be upon us.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I think it's better for us now to start getting into some NFL talk and talking about different various things, talking about divisions like we always do, but also talking about things like what teams we think are going to regress the most this season. And Fitzy, I don't know about you, but for me, and I've been a big, I've said this for pretty much the last 6 months. I don't think the Patriots are going to be anywhere close to the team that they were last year. I think they are the team that regresses the most. I think they go from a 14-win team to maybe an 8 or 9-win team. I think that the New England Patriots take a huge step back this season.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to agree with you there. I don't think Drake May was as good. I think they got a favorable schedule. Some teams have that, but it also like just went favorable for them. And what was a weak AFC, let's face it, the Chiefs suck now. And there wasn't a lot of other teams like going in there. I mean, the Colts were the best team in the AFC for a large part of the season. Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you there. That the Patriots are going to take a step back, which kind of scares me about the Bears, because you could say almost the same thing I just said and put Bears into every word. But I thought the NFC was a little bit better, and I do think the Bears were a stronger team than the Patriots. And moving forward, I think they got a better quarterback too.
Yeah, I think that the Bears, the reason why you don't put the Bears in that conversation is twofold, right? Their offense is better than what the Patriots offense is from top to bottom. And well, I guess there's really threefold, right? Because two, the Bears didn't play the third weakest schedule in NFL history like the New England Patriots did. And the third thing is, I mean, the head coach. I mean, all right, coach didn't spend the entire offseason trying to repair his family situation because he got caught cheating with a reporter. Like, there's this, I understand that they add one of the premier wide receivers in the NFL. I get that, but I don't think that that's enough.
Yeah, is he good anymore?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if
He's 36.
Even if he is good, what does that do for Drake May when he doesn't have any time in the pocket? Because that offensive line still is not very good, and they showed it as every time that they played a good defense. Drake May couldn't hold on to the football. He didn't throw a ton of interceptions this past season. I think he threw 10, but he fumbled the ball probably about 25 times. I mean, and in the playoffs, I mean, that's all he did was fumble the ball.
He was not good.
No,
he was it looked bad. I don't care how good Seattle's defense is. He just looked really bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And I as much as you add AJ Brown, I mean, beyond that, you got Romeo Doubs, who is now there. He, after signing there, leaving Green Bay, you've got Kayshon Boutte, and Hunter Henry. And I just don't see it. You didn't do anything to improve the offensive line, minus Elijah Vera Tucker. Like, I just don't see what everybody else is seeing with this New England Patriots team, where they think that this team is just going to be able to run it back. I think the Patriots just take a huge step back. 8 or 9 wins at the most, I think, for New England, especially when you look at their schedule for the Patriots. I mean, God, the first 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks coming out at the gate, you got Seattle, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, and Buffalo. All 4 of those teams are teams that could absolutely beat them. Then you got Las Vegas. Who knows what the hell, and we're going to talk about them in a little bit. Who knows what they're going to be by week 5? That might be the first game that you actually see, which I think would be a mistake. But that might be the first time that we actually go ahead and see Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah.
I think he wins this job coming out of camp, but if he doesn't, that's probably the first time you're going to see him since, with Kirk Cousins being in Las Vegas. And then sure, you get the Jets, but then you get the Bears. You still have to play Green Bay, Detroit, the Chargers, the Bills again, the Kansas City Chiefs. The Denver Broncos are on their schedule. Their out of division schedule is really, really tough. I really don't see 8 or 9 wins is their ceiling, I believe. I think their floor is somewhere around 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, if you go through it, right? Seattle at Seattle week 1. Anything can happen week 1, but if you're just looking at it on paper, Seattle's the better team and they proved it in the Super Bowl already, so they're just going to come out and prove it again and you're in Seattle. Then you got
If you win
Pittsburgh.
5 games, is Rabel fired? If you win 5 games after an offseason he just had.
I think that if they go into week 9, when's their bye week? Their bye week is week 11.
And he'll only change that 45 times during the season.
So let's say going into week 10, I think if they have anything less than four wins going into week 10, which I think is a real probability, I think Vrabel's gone in the bye week.
What?
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't get canned for this anyway. I don't care if he went to a Super Bowl. I mean,
I get it. But in those first 10 weeks, the Jets in Miami are the only 2 games where I look at that and I think that New England's the favorite. Seattle, loss. Pittsburgh, probably a loss. Pittsburgh's a better football team than them, and depending on what Aaron Rodgers shows up. Jacksonville is a winnable game, but again, if Jacksonville's defense is as good as advertised, I think that Jacksonville wins that game. Buffalo,
Trevor Lawrence is a complete douchebag.
Yeah, Buffalo in their new stadium. I like Buffalo a lot this year. Vegas, I think, is a better team. I think that defense is going to wreak havoc on New England. Then they have to come to Chicago in week 7. Green Bay and Detroit. It's very possible that they win less than 4 games in those first 10.
Wow. That'd be something. Post Super Bowl. How high he was last year after, how bad they were the year before.
Yeah.
G-men go to the playoffs. We're not even near the Giants. I don't know why we're bringing up the Giants. Jeremiah is agreeing with you.
There is nobody that look. I'm convinced that if either one of the Harbaugh brothers walked into a room, your brother would go and have the biggest Diddy party you've ever seen. Like it would just be him and the Harbaugh brothers. Like he loves him some Harbaugh.
Throw in Joe Montana.
Oh God, forget it. Throw in Joe Montana, and I mean, he makes Diddy look innocent.
I will say this: if you want to feel better about Caleb Williams, and Mega TV says coward. I don't know if I take a lot of what he says, but he has him number 3 overall. You watch just a normal play. You can watch the highlights too. You watch a normal play by Drake May, and then you watch one by Caleb Williams. It's like one guy's playing in the backyard with his mentally challenged, nephew, and one guy is playing football. I mean, it's insane to watch both those players play and just how more dynamic Caleb Williams is.
Let's talk about that too, because the ESPN put out their top 10 quarterbacks ranked by executives and coaches and all this stuff in the NFL, and they had Caleb Williams at 10. I put out my top 10, and I don't have Caleb Williams in my top 10.
Top 10.
And but
don't just show your top 10.
To have Caleb at number 3, that's insane, right?
To have Caleb as 3, I mean, it just depends on what you're saying. Are we saying
you're not saying so? John,
right now, no. That's crazy right now. If you're predicting, it just depends what he said. If he's predicting that's where he thinks Caleb's going to be by the end of the season, okay, I can at least make that argument, but you can put him at 1 then, or wherever the hell you want.
I can get on board with, but if you're telling me heading into 2026, that's why I don't think he should be in the top 10. That's why I don't have Drake May in the top 10, because look, dude, there's still so much more that they have to prove. You got to be able, 1, for Drake May, you got to be able to prove you could do it against good defenses, and 2, Caleb Williams he's got to improve his accuracy. He's got to improve on his completion percentage. That has to happen in order for him to be a top 10 quarterback. He's close, but I think by the end of the season, and that's what I said, when I was talking about it, by the end of the season, I do expect Caleb Williams to be a top 5 quarterback in the league. But heading into the season, I think it's crazy to even have him in the top 10.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess I think for the season he was way better than Drake May. I don't care where Drake May went. I don't care that Drake May went to a Super Bowl. I don't care. Just what he showed, how he played in the season. Like we say sometimes, like watch the games. It's insane. Your list is still hot garbage. Jeremiah is saying your list is hot garbage.
I mean, you
Let's
could
get
say
your list
that,
up
but
there.
I would love to.
Let's get your list up there. Let's
I'm-
get your list.
oh.
Up. I got it for you. Don't worry
I was
about
pulling
it
it up. All
because
right.
I hated it so much.
So look, Josh Allen at number 1 to me. I don't even think that it's a question. I don't even think it's arguable. Patrick Mahomes. Look, I understand.
I put Joe Burrow ahead of him.
When you're talking about Patrick Mahomes, it's about his ability and what he can be when he's fully healthy. And I think that heading into 2026, his pedigree and what he has shown throughout the last entire career that he's had, the 7 years, 8 years that he's played in the league, I think he's earned the number 2 spot. Joe Burrow, he could be. I would listen to Joe Burrow ahead of Patrick Mahomes. I'm fine with that because Joe Burrow is probably one of the more accurate quarterbacks in the league, and if he's healthy, same with Patrick Mahomes. If they're both healthy, they're both guys that could take their quarterback to the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford at number 4 is coming off an MVP season. I don't understand why people would even have a problem with him being in the top 5.
I think it's the later.
Dak Prescott at 5. Look, the guy just does nothing but put up numbers and does nothing but lead offenses downfield, scores a ton of points. He just has a defense that gives up a ton more. That's not on Dak Prescott. And Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. He's a 2-time MVP.
2-time MVP. I maybe even put him over Prescott myself.
Baker Mayfield just wins, man. Baker Mayfield just wins, right? And heading into this season, I think he is has been one of the more consistent quarterbacks over the last 3 years with that Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. That quite frankly, a lot of people forget. They were missing Mike Evans for how many weeks last year? Chris Godwin couldn't stay on the field to save their lives. They had no weapons behind Baker Mayfield, and he still had them in position in the playoffs. Then you got Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but
nothing. Sam Darnold just won a Super Bowl and completed nearly 70% of his passes. Like Sam Darnold was for the last 2 years now. This wasn't just a 1-year thing. It's been 2 years now.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold had some really good seasons, and he's coming off of a Super Bowl. And then Brock Purdy. I know
his face looks smashed though, and he's a redhead. So
Brock Purdy's the one that you have a huge problem.
Yes, huge problem.
I don't know why you have such a huge problem with it because
I think he's hit his ceiling, and it's not that good. I think he's a very limited player, very limited quarterback. I don't think he had the season you think he had. I think he played the Bears. I think that's a problem right there, and had 5 touchdowns against them. I think without playing the Bears, his season was not good. He threw a lot of picks and a lot of weird times, made a lot of bad decisions for the amount of years he's been in the league.
So here's the thing. Then who would you have ahead of him? Who would you have ahead of Brock Purdy? And Jalen Hurts? Would you have Jalen Hurts ahead of him? Or did you have a problem with him being in the top 10 too?
See, I have a problem.
To me, with top 10s, 9 and 10 are usually the guys that I could listen to arguments about, because once you get to 9 or 10, those are usually the guys that people have in that other people would have ahead of him. Justin Herbert I had at 11. And my problem with Justin Herbert is at some point you got to show me something.
You're in love with Justin Herbert.
I do love Justin Herbert, and I think Justin Herbert is a really good quarterback. But at some point, you got to do something in the playoffs to show me that you're a good quarterback, and Justin Herbert just doesn't do that. So that's why I don't have.
Hurt team last year. I mean, I don't know. First year, new coach, hurt team. I mean, most of that offensive line was hurt last year, but I don't give him a lot of. I actually agree with you on that. I just don't think Brock Purdy is I just don't think he's that good.
I don't.
John says, Rye, why do you have a problem with Brock Vanilla Vic Purdy? Well, he looked like Michael Vick against the Bears, which was hilarious how bad they were against him. But
again, they were a really good defense at taking the ball away, and Brock Purdy did his thing versus them.
He threw a pick 6 against the Bears too, in like one of the first plays of the game. So
he did. And then
that should have cost them the game if he wasn't going against the worst defensive line known to man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like there are a lot of good quarterbacks that looked bad against the Bears though last year. So that's where I'm saying, like, you can't. For me, I would listen about taking Brock Purdy out. I just don't know who you put in ahead of him. You want to put in, you know, if you want to talk about whether or not it's Justin Herbert, if you want to talk about, like, I don't even know.
What about wait? I mean,
it's not Jordan Love. Don't even.
What about Jared Goff?
No, stop.
He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league for 2 years. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You can say what you want about him. I agree, but at least this is a guy that hit his ceiling. I mean, I don't think Brock Purdy even knows where that is. I mean, maybe he did hit his ceiling. It's just bad. But at least Jared Goff has gotten every single ounce of talent out of himself. And he's pretty good. I mean, he had the best offense in the league 2 years in a row. They weren't that bad last year either. I think I put Jared Goff definitely against Brock Purdy.
Okay. I wouldn't, but I mean, I would listen to it. I just, for me,
I think he's got way better numbers than him in every single category, last year included. I mean, I don't know.
What about Aaron Rodgers?
No, Aaron Rodgers is not on any. I mean, he feasts on bad teams, and then I mean, it's the same. I would have he feasts on bad teams and just tear. I mean, to say his stats when he was on the Jets a couple of years ago, be like, yeah, that was a good season. No, it wasn't. Like, watch that his season against some good teams. He was terrible. Goff would throw for more yards if he was with San Fran. I agree with that. San Fran maybe wins a Super Bowl if they had Jared Goff instead of Brock Purdy.
Yeah, my 11 through 15 was Justin Herbert, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Jordan Love, Jaden Daniels, and CJ Stroud were both tied at 15.
It's still no Jared Goff at all. What is wrong with you and Jared Goff? I don't care about getting Jordan Love. I've told you what I think of Jordan Love. I think he's talented. I think he's a good quarterback. I think there's a lot of problems there. Just all up and down. I don't think he's very smart. I think he folds like lawn furniture late in games. I mean, or in any big games, like really bad.
I don't know. I guess I'm just not high on Jared Goff, but I would listen to having Jared Goff over Brock Purdy. I would listen to Justin Herbert over Brock Purdy. Hell, I'd listen to Caleb Williams over Brock Purdy. I just don't think he's there yet. Same thing with Bo Nix. Like, I think Bo Nix is way better than Drake May. And I don't have, but they had Drake May at 6, I believe, in the ESPN ranking. If that's not recency bias, I don't know what the hell is. And that's just, these are just people that don't know what the hell they're talking about. Like, what did you watch from Drake May the year prior when he was throwing for 15 touchdowns and 10 interceptions? And I think he played 12 games that year. 15 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. It wasn't good.
Yeah,
he played a weak schedule with not very good defenses last year. Like, their schedule was very conducive to him having a good year. And all credit to him, he went out and he did it, because you still do have to go out and do it. So I do understand that part of it. But the bigger part of that is you can't tell me heading into 2026 that you think he is the 6th best quarterback in the league. That's crazy.
No, I can't say that. Drake May was runner up for MVP. Yeah, I guess Yeah, I can't argue with that. He was runner up for MVP. His numbers showed it. I guess I can't argue about that, but I don't have him 6. I don't have him as the 6th quarterback. If I'm drafting quarterbacks this year, like that's how I think of a list. I'm not drafting Greg May 6th. I'm not.
Yeah.
And in that case, I think a lot of people are drafting Caleb Williams in the top 10. I think there's a lot of teams right now. Take away age. Let's take away age for a second. Just ability. I think a lot of people are taking Caleb Williams in the top 10. Combs doesn't like Goff because he looks like crap.
Might have something to do with it.
Wow.
It has something to do with it.
I
I just think heading into 2026, I think you're going to see him start taking a huge step back too. I mean, he's not getting younger; he's getting older, and I don't think that Lions offense is as good as people think that it is. And I think it's only going to get worse. Like they do have some good wide receivers, but I don't know. It's just something about it. For me, I don't have them in my top 10. I don't even have them in my top 15 heading into 2026.
I'm drafting Caleb Williams in the top 5. Maybe that's a bad way to think about it, is the draft, but it's the only way I can think about it, because what are we talking about here? There's a million things we could be talking about. People have these lists and they don't quantify them at all. They just say like, oh yeah, this person, yeah, these are my top 10 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Predicted on how they are going to play this year? No, they're just the top 10. Okay, so how they were good in the years before? No, just the top 10. Oh, so going into the season, like, what are we talking about? So it's a draft? Is it a draft? No, because then it would be age restrictive, and some guys are 24 and good, and some guys are 37 and they're better than them. I mean, tell me what we're talking about here.
Yeah. No, I get it. For me, it's just heading into 2026 and what I think they're going to be, heading into the season, what they have been over the last couple of years, plus mixed in with what I think they're going to be this upcoming season. Now, again, I do expect Bo Nix and Caleb Williams will both be in my top 10, maybe even halfway through the season. If I re-rank the list halfway through the season, I think that those guys might be there. But heading into the season, I just think that both of those guys still have a little bit to prove before I can put them ahead of guys like Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert.
Why did you laugh like that?
What?
You kind of had an annoying, like you're annoyed by me laugh. It was flippant.
I don't even remember laughing. Anyway. All right, let's talk some AFC West here before we get out of here, right? So the AFC West, it is projected to be a 3-team race between the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Broncos. I think that is way off because I don't think that the Chiefs are going to factor in. And when you look at this, let's start with them. Let's start with the Chiefs, right? Can Patrick Mahomes continue to dominate, even though, coming back off of this injury? Is he going to start week 1? How many games is he going to play? And with the fact that this offensive line, they did nothing to improve the offensive line in Kansas City. I mean, nothing to improve the offensive line in Kansas City. I just don't know how they're going to get better on an offense that has been regressing for the last 3 seasons. I just don't see it. So I don't think that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be a factor. I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be a playoff team. As a matter of fact, I think the Kansas City Chiefs are a 7 to 8 win football team.
I agree with that. I mean, they still got a good head coach. I think not having Matt Nagy anywhere near the team is a plus for any team. So that is actually an addition for them. But I'll go a step further. Patrick Mahomes, even with all the talent he used to have, is not as good a quarterback as he was before.
Yeah.
He's just not. I mean, watch the games. Go back and watch that Super Bowl against Philadelphia. He's terrible. I don't care what the defense is. When he has time to throw, he's terrible. He's making the wrong read or the wrong throw the wrong way. He's trying to make things happen when he doesn't. He's acting like a rookie quarterback. He's off schedule way too much. Like it's not a good performance. And he brought that into the whole next season. And that season previous to that, he wasn't very good either. So, I mean, I don't think he's the same guy. I don't know what exactly is happening. Maybe they are playing different defenses. This isn't the league he came into. where you could throw for 40 or 50 touchdowns. We've talked about that before, but yeah, I'm in total agreement with you, which is strange. But sometimes we are. Yeah, the Chiefs, 7 games. I mean, God, it could be less. Maybe 7, 8 games just because the Nagy factor. Nagy's gone. He's not nagging anymore.
Well,
Matt Nagy was the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, by the way.
This isn't a slight at Pat, because I think Patrick Mahomes is still great. I think Patrick Mahomes is still a guy who can win football games. And I still think Andy Reid is one of the better offensive minds in the game, but it's just a matter of at some point you have to have talent to go along with that, right? And look, I don't care what you say. You don't know how many games you're getting out of Rashee Rice. You don't know who their number 2 wide receiver is going to be. Sure, they went out and got the Super Bowl MVP at running back, but great, because who's opening holes for him on the offensive line? And Travis Kelce just got married, and I'm here to tell you, as a guy who's been married 3 times, that things don't get easier in life after you get married.
Oh my God, Michelle!
I'm just being honest.
What the hell?
Life don't get easier after you get married. They get more complicated.
They aren't going to get easier for you in the next hour. We all know that. Travis is having a great year after getting married. How tone deaf do you have to be in this economic climate to have a huge marriage where they did? And what, a castle or what? I don't even know. I didn't even read it. I read one headline of one article, so I'll stay out of it. Travis Kelce's not having a great year. He's not.
He's just old, and I don't think he has it in him to be what he was when they were on all of those Super Bowl runs. And I don't think that they have the talent that they had when they were on all of those Super Bowl runs. I think that they're in that transition period, like the Patriots were for a little while, where they had a good 5 or 6 year span where they were losing the AFC title game, or they were just barely squeaking in the playoffs and going out in the second round. Like, I think that that's where the Kansas City Chiefs are right now, and they need more talent. They have to get more talent around Patrick Mahomes in order for him to be successful. And right now they just don't have that. So it's not a slight on Mahomes. It's not a slight on Andy Reid. I just don't think that they have the talent, and especially in a division that I think is the best coach division in all of football. And when you go to the next team that might be competing with the Chiefs, to stay out of the basement, that's the Raiders. And this is a team that could shock some people. This is a team that I could see maybe winning 8 to 10 football games and being every bit as good as the Kansas City Chiefs and being on their way. It's just, and the reason I only say, 8 to 10 is because I don't know that they're not going to start Kirk Cousins for the first 4
Yeah,
weeks.
that's what
that would be stupid. That would be stupid. And I know people are gonna come out, oh, you gotta let the kid learn, and you gotta let him sit, and that's the best way to do it. That would be true if you were doing it the way the Green Bay Packers done it. And as much as that pains me to say, the way the Packers did it with Rodgers, the way the Packers did it with Jordan Love, they did it the right way. But the way that they did it was you had a quarterback that was already implemented in the system.
Was a Hall of Famer.
Already winning, that was already doing those things. Even if you go back to the Kansas City Chiefs before Patrick Mahomes, and he sat a year because they had already had Alex Smith, who was already in the system, who was already winning and already taking them to the playoffs. You're bringing in a new guy who's learning the system at the same time that the rookie is learning the system. So just let the rookie play. And I think you would be a better team for it, because I think you come into the first 3 weeks of the season, I think Kirk Cousins does what Kirk Cousins does, and I think he's going to end up laying an egg, and I think it's going to be bad, and fans are going to be booing, and they're going to have no choice but to put Fernando Mendoza in. And I think Fernando Mendoza has all the intangibles to be a successful quarterback in this league, and I think that he will be the spark that this team needs. And I think that the Raiders are going to surprise some teams with some people with Fernando Mendoza, and I think that they're going to find a way down the stretch to eke out 8 wins and be in maybe even in a wild card conversation in the AFC.
Yeah. I mean, they don't really have a number 1 wide receiver. They do have Brock Bowers, which is good when you have
one wide receiver. Pretty good number 1 receiver.
Who? Jalen Naylor?
Brock Bowers is their number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess in this league you could say that now. I guess you can definitely say that now. I mean, I guess people could say that for some years. You could say that, but now the league is totally tight end oriented. So I guess you could say it. Downing Thomas says he's on Team Michelle, your wife.
We're all on Team Michelle. We're all on
not.
Team. Yeah. Nobody ever
Well,
is
now
on
you
Team
gotta
Brandon,
say that.
especially when you come into these situations. Nobody's ever on Team Brandon.
I just don't know how they're. No one's going to be on Team Brandon. I don't know how they're going to put a lot of wins together. I think they're still in the bottom of the division. Looking up at probably the Chiefs, third in the division.
Probably. Another team, the next team you talk about is the Denver Broncos, and you got to talk about will Bo Nix bounce back from the ankle injury that he suffered in the playoffs, and will this team, I mean, they did go out and get Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
Is this offense going to be so much better that they're going to be able to take off and maybe win this division and lead this division for years to come? Because Sean Payton out there doing what Sean Payton does, I just have to say that this Broncos team, to me, has to be the favorite to win this division heading into the season.
I think they'll be the favorite. I don't think they'll win it. I think they'll be pretty good. I'm not as high on Bo Nix as you've been. I don't think he does a lot of things great, but he had a good season. You're right. They did get better. And Sean Payton, I trust. I mean, I think he's been lapped by like McVay and some of these guys that come up, some of these offensive minded coaches now, but I still think he's an innovator in the league. I mean, what is he? 65 now?
Yeah.
He's ancient for a coach. He's ancient for a coach, but he's not Pete Carroll ancient. Ben Johnson. Okay,
yeah.
Ben Johnson. He's just got to say Ben Johnson every day. Okay, Ben Johnson. He's had one season. I mean, he had the seasons with Detroit, but he's had one season. It's hard for me to put him in that category. I was thinking of the coach of San Francisco.
I don't know why you guys hate Bo Nix and Brock Purdy so much. I think you guys have complexes about these two quarterbacks who can.
They just don't do anything great. It's the same reason why I don't like Jordan Love. He doesn't do anything great. Like, people are like, he's got a great arm. He's got like the top 8 arm in the league, and everybody's got a pretty good arm in this league now. Like, what quarterback doesn't have an arm that could make pretty much every throw? I mean, yeah, there's a spectrum to everything, but he's got a good arm. Like, I just don't see what Bo Nix does great.
So are they a playoff team then, do you?
I think they're a playoff team. I think there'll be 2 playoff teams in this division. I think but we can get on with the Chargers.
Yeah, look, the Chargers, I mean,
the Broncos.
Obviously their biggest question is going to be health. And whether or not Justin Herbert can actually show signs of being able to produce in the playoffs. And then, I mean, can the offensive line stay healthy? Because if this offensive line stays healthy, this is a dangerous offense. If this offensive line is as good as they're supposed to be, if Joe Alt is on the field for 17 games, it's a big difference maker for this Chargers team.
Rashawn Slater, too.
Herbert not make the mistakes. What you need to do is Justin Herbert not go out there and cost you football games late in the season and in the playoffs. And that's what Justin Herbert has done over the last entirety of his career, has cost them playoff games. And I don't know, what it's going to take to get beyond that. And that's what scares me about picking the Chargers to win a division, is because I don't know what Justin Herbert I'm going to get. Am I going to get the Justin Herbert am I going to get his potential? Because his potential is top 3 quarterback in the league. Or am I going to get the Justin Herbert that I've seen over the last 3 years, who, when it comes down to crunch time, is going to make
Trevor Lawrence
cost me the game?
Who lost to Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
Who made a name for Trevor Lawrence?
He did give the team a 27-0 lead, though.
He did, but you got to do something in the second half of that game against that Jaguars defense.
Freaking ball instead of continuing to pass it.
Well, that's why. What is it? Drew Staley? Is that the old coach of the Chargers? That's why he's gone. Brandon Staley. Yeah. I don't know who Drew Staley is. Maybe he's somebody. But I think this could be one of the best offensive lines in the league. You know what I think about offensive lines? I love the big fat guys. Rashawn Slater. They got a new center. Two to slip. And you're right, Joel, if these guys stay healthy throughout the season, if all these guys are playing 13, 14, 15 games and they're in the playoffs, I think this is the best team in the division.
Your sister.
We were fighting during the cameo FanDuel thing. We were yelling at each other. Well, I was yelling.
Look, if we need to fight for you to make this worth your time, you should listen more because we fight all the time. Anyway, I just look. For the Chargers, I need to see it from Justin Herbert before I believe in him. That's why for me, I'm going to pick. I agree with you. This division is going to have two playoff teams, and I do believe it's the Broncos and the Chargers. I just think the Broncos are going to win the division because I think the Broncos are more ready to do it now. I think the Broncos are. I like Bo Nix. Look, I know you don't, but the kid just wins, man. He just knows how to win, and that counts for something in this league. And is he the most polished quarterback? No, but he makes the right plays at the right time. And that's not something you could say about guys like Jordan Love or Justin Herbert right now. So I'm going to take the Broncos to win the division.
You make a good and cogent, well put together and well thought out argument. I totally disagree, though. No, I'm not saying Bo Nix is bad. I'm just not as high on him as you are. I'm just not. I think I think Justin Herbert and that offensive line have a slight edge. Now, the Broncos defense was pretty good.
This is a good point, Jeremiah. Mike McDaniels is going to bring that awkward white guy swag to that team and kill it. I do love Mike McDaniels in this offense, and even furthermore, if you're a fantasy player, I love Mike McDaniels with Omari and Hampton. I think Omari and Hampton's going to have a fantastic season. I think he's going to put up numbers galore out of the backfield catching. If you're in a PPR league, Omari and Hampton should be one of the top two running backs off of the board for you. I think this kid is going to have a phenomenal season, maybe a 1,000 season.
1,000 season.
1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving.
Yeah.
He's that elusive. He's that quick, and his hands out of the backfield are really good. So I think you can see Mike McDaniels use him in a lot of different ways. It's going to confuse some defenses. I do think that this offense can be dynamic. I really do.
Keaton Mitchell will rush for over 1,000 yards.
I wouldn't disagree with that either.
You don't talk about running backs, so you wouldn't take Barry Sanders in the first round of a draft. So
I just talked about a running back in Omari and Hampton.
I know you did. I know you talked about a running back.
Of an NFL draft, but I take him in the first round of a fantasy draft.
How many fantasy leagues are you going to be in this year, huh? You got time for this show? You got time? I'm worried about you. I don't know if you got time.
I cut my fantasy leagues pretty much in half this year. I think I'm only at 4.
4. You were in 8 fantasy leagues last year.
I was in 9 last year.
What in the hell is wrong with you?
I just said I cut it in half.
9?
Yeah.
We got to get somebody to do a cameo for you. Maybe Max Crosby can do one, or
maybe I can get Bryce Harper.
A lot of money. Are all those betting leagues?
7 of them were.
Jesus Christ.
And this year, 3 of them are. 3 of the 4.
We should have a league this year. But I don't think you can do another league. You're going to do one live thing a day. I think this is too much for you.
We could certainly have a league. We can have a show league. We could put it together. I mean, didn't we do one last year?
No, we did one the year before.
All right.
I think Doubting Thomas won, which is...
That's probably why we didn't do it last year, because we were like, the hell with that. We're not letting We're not letting that happen again.
It made me
But-
sick. I want 5K to join the league.
Well, that's great because you're not invited. So
He'll think we can set up a whole side league where he thinks he's playing with somebody, but he's not.
yeah. I don't know.
Brittany Sani is doing her job.
Is not doing her job.
Is not doing her job.
Brittany.
Her name was Brittany, Bryttanni, the lady from FanDuel
Oh,
who helped ruin a guy's life. Hey, we made sure about that, and we'll continue to try to figure out exactly how we ended up where we ended up on that.
absolutely.
Rob Manfred, everybody.
All right, so I'm taking the Chargers, or you're taking the Chargers to win the West. I'm taking the Broncos to win the West. Is that
Yep.
what we're
We
doing?
made sure about that, and we'll continue to try to figure out exactly how we ended up, where we ended up on that. I could not find that cut. It wasn't on video. They just got him saying it's the dumbest.
All right. Are you ready to get out of here?
Yes.
Let's
What
get
are you
the
gonna
hell
do
out of
for the rest of the night?
I'm probably going to go
Sleep
bet
alone.
on some betting apps and
Wow.
see if Bryce Harper can, give me a plug. See what we're gonna do. Or I'm gonna go look at who's available on the trade block and see why Twinkle D and Twinkle Dumb aren't gonna do anything for the Cubs this year. I'm not sure.
We didn't talk much Cubs. Dylan Cease, though,
We missed
gonna
the
have
Bruce-
another 200 strikeouts this year. Wouldn't it be great to have Dylan Cease in a Cub uniform this year? But they didn't have enough money. You don't want him spending money.
We did not talk to Bruce Levine text where he completely called out Carter Hawkins and Jed Hoyer, calling them Twinkle D and Twinkle Dumb.
Oh,
He thought he was
boy.
texting. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. He thought he
Yeah.
was texting somebody. He was putting it on Twitter. That's an old man move.
That's tough. That's tough.
That's something I would do if I was still getting high.
He didn't say anything wrong. Bruce Levine did not say anything wrong in
No.
that text. So we will see you guys in 3 weeks. Till then, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies. Talk to you later.